back to the channel. So this week we are heading north out of Sydney to the very northern end of the beautiful Central Coast to shoot a very unique rock structure up on Hargreaves Beach. Okay, let's go. Well, good morning and welcome to Hargreaves Beach. Now, where's Hargreaves Beach? Up on the Central Coast. On the north end of the Central Coast, you've got sort of Nora Head Lighthouse there, and just maybe 3 or 4 beaches north of Nora Head, you've got this amazing rock structure sitting down the end of the beach here. Now, it's probably been about 3 or 4 years since I was actually at Hargreaves Beach, and last time I was here, this rock structure had a little peak sitting out the front of the rock there, and since I've been here, I'm sure it's probably been a storm or something that the actual peak has come away from the rock. However, the rock is still spectacular. It's the most amazing, unique sort of rock structure anywhere I've seen up and down the coast here. So, come up this morning. As I said, it's probably been about 3 years since I've been here, and there was a bit of a mixed forecast of sort of medium cloud, and I thought, well, why not? Let's go and check it out. So, if you ever come here, I find coming here on a lower tide is better because there's a certain section of beach that in order to pass you need a lower tide to get there. So I've set up with quite a simple shot at the moment, just a landscape style shot, and what I've done is, if you look closely, you can see there's actually 2 rocks here. So you got the main rock itself, and there's a second rock over here that's sort of forming a bit of a U section between the 2 rocks. So what I'm trying to do is capture this U section between the 2 as well with this composition I've got. Got a little bit of colour on the horizon, and I've done a couple of long exposure shots that were about 3 or 4 minutes when I first got here. It was very, very dark, and then what I've done now is I'm down to about 30 seconds at the moment, so I'm just starting to get a little bit of colour up in the very high cloud here. I might do a bit of a portrait shot while I'm here as well, but let's have a look at the long exposure shot as the first shot of the day, and then we'll come back and see what else we can get whilst we're here. Let's check it out. Just done this great big piece to camera, and the camera wasn't even switched on, so here we go again. So we're down to a shorter exposure now, so I'm sitting about 20 seconds, and I'm sitting about f8 as well as my aperture. So that's sort of giving me this really nice pinkiness in the high areas of the sky, and I've got a little bit of pinkiness and some colour on the horizon there as well. So f8, 20 seconds. Let's have a quick look at the short exposure, and then we're going to see what else we can find. Let's check it out. So I've come a little bit closer to the rock now, and what I'm trying to do is I've moved the camera into portrait mode, and I'm really trying to focus and accentuate the rock, because obviously it's a portrait style shot here. I'm a little bit closer. I've done a shot for the rock itself, so I've got the rock properly exposed with the sky behind it here. But what I'm really waiting for is one of these waves to come in and sort of fill up the foreground a little. I've noticed that as they come through the gap here, the wave sort of hits the sand and then fans out. So if I can get a little bit of that sort of fan as the wave comes through, then we'll fill up the foreground. So here we go. So something like this, where a wave comes through the sand, I'll take that shot. So I've got the camera all set up, so we're just waiting for a couple of waves to come through and see if we can find something. I've purposely underexposed it very slightly, for the simple reason that once a wave comes in here with some foam, the white foam tends to lighten up the shot a little bit. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this, wait for a couple of waves, and if we get one, then it'll fill up the foreground quite nicely. Okay, if it worked, Here comes the shot. Check it out. Okay, so what I've done now is I've actually just come around a little bit to show the rock in a little bit more sort of profile. What this is enabling me to do as well is because the sun's sort of coming up behind the rock, it's sort of really giving that nice backlight to the rock as well. If you get here and get the right tidal conditions, in addition to the sky, you can also get a really nice wave breaking on the sand in front of the rock. That's probably not going to happen today though, unless we get one of these rogue waves that takes us by surprise, like this one here. You can sort of get a really nice sort of flow coming through right beside the rock, just to sort of fill up that foreground as well. So what I'm doing is I've adapted really for the sky conditions here, because I really don't want to blow the sky out, and I'll probably just lift the shadows a little bit in Lightroom later, because the sky's really got this really sort of bright section sort of here. So I'm just going to make sure that I expose for that and I don't blow that out. So right now I'm sitting at f9, I'm only at 4 seconds, and I've turned my circular polarizer to make sure that this section of the sky is a little bit darker. So okay, 4 seconds, f9, let's check this one out. So just as I was about to take this shot, the sun actually came up over the horizon, and I managed to just slightly reposition the camera to get the sunburst happening just around the rock there. So my settings were a little bit different than I was describing to you, but I still managed to get a little bit of a wave in the foreground. So here's the final shot. So we're done from Hargraves Beach, an amazing little place. It's amazing how much more sand is here since last time I was here, although it's been 3 years. I think every time there's a large storm, it sort of washes the sand out, and then the sea brings more sand in, and it's a never-changing cycle. So if you like the shots, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all that stuff. I'm going to put the shots up now with all the settings as I normally do, so you can see what the settings were, and then we're going to head off for some breakfast and then head on the big journey back down south again. So we shall see you in the next one. Cheers.